What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock and break down what on earth a Wyckoff accumulation schematic is suggesting for NIO, and why on earth this suggests that there may be some downside coming up for NIO, but if you give it time, this thing will have a very strong recovery in the future. Now, before I break down what on earth this is predicting, what on earth is going on with NIO supply chains, when their next earnings report may end up coming, and what on earth they actually reported from earnings that could actually affect the share price, I do have to mention a couple of things real quick. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Don't take any of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you are guaranteed 6 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. You could always sell these 6 free stocks for cash and use that cash to buy some NIO shares for free in this limited time offer that ends in just 2 weeks. So please check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at NIO, one of the things you're going to see that's interesting is we are a little bit higher compared to how low we were a couple of weeks ago, right? Back around like mid-May. And what's interesting about this is that it was based off CPIs, how we got that nice run up. So what on earth is this schematic or this Wyckoff accumulation schematic suggesting? And the way we do this is we ignore a lot of external factors. We kind of pay attention to just a couple of them for the future outlooks. And we could actually look at what the chart is essentially suggesting, because what happens is a lot of big institutions, they are essentially trading these companies like NIO, for example. They push it up and they push it down at certain places. And that's how they make money based off these patterns, right? It works for them, which is why they use it so much. What I want to do is kind of trail what this would suggest NIO would end up doing for the future. Now, firstly, we got to talk about what the future is holding for them. And if we actually look at this video right here, we have some reports from their financial results. Once again, if you didn't see my previous videos, let's go over it real quick. The total revenue in Q1 of 2022 was 1.5 billion, and in the beginning, right, that's a 24.2% increase year over year. For Q2 of 2022, NIO expects to deliver 23,000 and 25,000 vehicles, somewhere between that. Deliveries of the ES8, ES6, EC6, and ET7 in Q1 2022 were 25,768. That was no surprise. That's still a 28.5% year over year increase. Now, we're probably going to see a bit of a decrease in Q2 due to the lockdowns that happened. It had a very negative effect on their business. But let me actually kind of go over some of the things that were mentioned in this video, because I think that there are some important things and elements to be looking at. So we have the revenue right over here, 24.2% year over year increase, and that's the 8th consecutive quarters in growth. However, guys, I think Q2 is not going to be the best because of what happened before during the whole lockdowns, like I said. So we might see a decrease for the next quarter. And this is going to make plenty of sense once I actually show you how this could affect the chart. Now, was the delivery guidance. 23 to 25,000 vehicles is what they're expecting. So it might be a slight decrease in Q2. Now, going forward, let's see what else it's showing. Okay, the cash reserves was $8.4 billion, so a slight decrease compared to Q4. And it's actually expected to actually decrease a little bit more for Q2. So once again, Q2 may not be the best when it comes to the results. In what they're essentially doing is they're talking about how they want to accelerate with new products, with actually improving their capacity expansion. And they're excited about their performance for 2022. So once again, that's awesome. And we have this right here. The NOP Plus is coming out. It's going to be released in Q3 of 2022, laying a solid foundation for releasing NAD service to provide the autonomous driving experience beyond expectations. Let's go. A very, very bullish indication right there. I think that's essentially it. But what I want to talk about is this right here, what they actually reported. And that is NIO sees supply chain production back to normal in June. So they're once again reaching back to the normalcy levels. So we're essentially about to start Q3 in about a month from now. So based off these numbers, okay, I don't think Q2 is going to be a great earnings report because of everything that's going on. But Q3, Q4, they're going to be fantastic. They're going to make the comeback of the century, in my opinion. So that's essentially what the outlook is. Now, when are they going to actually report their Q2 report? I mean, there's no way for me to really tell the exact date. So I think that it says like the last time they reported was around August of last year. So it might be a little bit earlier than that. We'll have to wait and see. But now that you have the context about where the company is going, we could use this Wyckoff accumulation schematic to help us understand what's going on. And what's crazy about it is look how well NIO is following this. We have this drop, a preliminary support, okay? Nice bounce, just like here, preliminary support, a nice bounce. Push down to the selling climax. Push down to the selling climax, very similar. You get the automatic reaction. After selling climax, we got the automatic reaction. Then we push down. We have the sell test. This was the sell test in phase A, right? Sell test in phase A. You're going to push up, and this push up is higher than the next push up. So we got to push up. NIO goes back to like $24. Then we drop to the sell test in phase B, and this is lower than this. Notice how the sell test here is lower than this one right here. This is higher. What happened here? Sell test in phase B is lower than this one. I'm sorry, this one right here. So they're not obviously exactly the same, but you can see how similar these price actions are. And let's just say we are essentially, following this trend. Another thing you can do is look at this from a completely different perspective, and that would be, what would the chart be telling us right now? If we are in phase B from a Wyckoff schematic standpoint, we might see a move like this. Okay, we're either near the top and we're about to see some downside, and these are the two main possibilities in my opinion. NIO might, this is the more bullish possibility, drop, get a bounce for some time, kind of like this, and then we start to drop. But I don't think this is what's going to essentially happen. And we enter the spring phase. And the spring phase may happen over a long period of time. It may not happen over a few months. And slowly we hit the test, followed by the last point of support, which may be right back in this range, around that 20. Then we get the sign of strength later during the year. Moves like this. Then we push all the way up by the time we get to next year, just like that, right? That's one of the more long-term situations. Another possibility is, given the data that just came out, let me change the color of this, hold on, just to show you the other possibility. So this was more like of a spread version of it. This would also suggest that NIO might actually have completed the run-up from phase B, and we might already start to drop from here. If the market starts to see a bit of a decline, that's very possible too. And we may already be set for a potential spring phase, as we have all these like rate hikes, all those things like that. Let me close this ad. Whoopsie daisy, sorry about that. We might see kind of like a slow decline, with some moves kind of like this, followed by a nice bounce towards, I would say, Q3 or a little bit later during this year. And we might hit the sign of strength right over there after LPS, and then we start to push up later during the year up until next year, continuing to rally like that with NIO Day coming, and we just keep going from there. Once again, that's also the possibility. So if we truly are in the sell test in phase B, right, that's where we could be. I don't know that for sure. There could be another spring, which means that there could be even more downside coming if we are following this. And the way you could kind of determine that is we'll have to see how this thing responds first before making that claim. But right now, like I said before, this is what the chart is essentially, or I'm sorry, this is what Wyckoff is suggesting. So I just wanted to give you guys an update on this. Anyways, thank you for listening. Just know There's no guarantee that this will happen. Maybe NIO already saw its bottom. Maybe this was already the spring and we're ready to start pushing up a little bit. I can't confirm that. I don't truly know, right? Nobody truly knows what's going to happen in the next month or two. What I can tell you is, given how this company is improving, I believe by Q3, just as the data suggests, the thing is going to start to kind of switch directions. And that's when we're going to see NIO see a big shift, in my opinion. That is what this Wyckoff accumulation schematic is suggesting. With that out of the way, I want to thank each and every one of you for listening. Look, the future is still very bright. I see the share price going to hundreds of dollars a share within the next 2 years. I can quite easily see that. I'm extremely bullish. I think by next year, NIO should be back to that $50 to $80 range. And the year after, it could easily hit that 100 to 150 range. I mean, I'm super, super bullish, right? I'm still very bullish long term. I believe in the company. Fundamentals are strong, and I see some very bullish price action for the future. This is what the share price may do. There could be some choppy price action for the next few months, but it's not the end of the world. Give it time, and it will bounce back. Be a patient investor. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. And I will see you guys in the next one. Enjoy your weekend. NIO to the moon, and peace out.